Virginia. Denbigh versus Warwick. Greg Bickaberos, Nate Milton, glad you're with us right here on Cox Cable 47-517 at the legendary Warwick basketball court. And it should be an outstanding game tonight between both these teams. Again, key to get off to a good start.
Absolutely. It's great to be bringing this game to you live, folks. We brought the lights and the camera. These two teams are going to provide the action, and it's key for Warwick to come out here and get off to a good start against a very tough Denbigh squad that's going to be hungry looking for a win tonight.
Right, and of course, Denbigh won the earlier game.
And then the guys are coming out here trying to make something happen, trying to avenge the loss from the girls earlier. So it's going to be a fun game tonight, folks.
Let's get to the public address announcer.
And now, make some noise for your Warwick Raider varsity boys. Number 2, Daniel Bahama. Number 3, Messiah Camphor. Number 10, Thomas Goggins. Number 21, Razik Carter Robinson. And number 5, Jaquez Hood.
All right, great introduction right there, Nate, of course. Boys basketball style. Denbigh coached by Woodside graduate Demetrius Phipps.
Yes.
And, of course, Warwick coached by legendary sports highlights guest Jimmy Gerald.
This is going to be a fun one, folks. You talk about the rivalry here between the Warwick Raiders and the Denbigh Patriots. It's an old rivalry, but it's still a heated rivalry, and it's going to be fun tonight, folks, to bring you this game live and direct on NNPS TV 47 on Cox Cable, Verizon Fios 17, and, of course, NNPSTV.com. Thanks for watching, folks. It's going to be a fun one.
All right, stay tuned for our shout-outs in the second and third quarter to our viewers. Catching them by surprise tonight going live.
I'm telling you, they ain't ready for this one, Greg.
Nate's trying to get ready. He had one game to warm up. All right, 8-minute quarters. Fazoli's, the Newport News. Thank you, Michelle and the great staff. 11739 Jefferson Avenue, Newport News. Give them a call right there at the number at Fazoli's.com. Great pizza, pasta, desserts, beverages. They feed our crew, let them feed you, with locations in Chesapeake and Newport News. Thank you, Michelle. About underway, Reggie Proctor, Bobby Daniels, Ted Albert, the officials. Denbigh in the blue, Warwick in the white. Denbigh wearing the blue, unlike the girls that wore the red.
Yeah, we'll see if the blue unis for the guys can provide them some magic that the girls did not have in the first game of our doubleheader, but the Warwick Raiders in that home white want to shut them down.
Marcellus B2 Harris, the football coach of Denbigh here, also a city councilman in attendance. Just underway, Warwick in the white uniforms. They like the dribble drive offense. Denbigh likes the man. Michelle saying, tell Nate hello. Get a fan out there. Michelle from Fazoli's.
Oh, shout out to Michelle from Fazoli's. Again, folks, they feed our crew, let them feed yours. Great people out there at Fazoli's. Again, Fazoli's.com. Pizza, pasta, and basketball. It's a perfect combination.
The give and go. Off right there by number 2 for Denbigh, Clay. And nice roll right there by number 5 for Warwick as well.
And I think what we're going to see already,
Jaquez
folks,
Hood.
Hood right there. But you see the difference already between the girls and the guys, Greg. A little bit more explosiveness, a little bit more athleticism, a little bit more raw power and speed from the guys than we saw in the girls' game earlier.
At the free throw line right there for Denbigh, number 24 respectively. Clint Scott. Devon Greenhouse out there, number 42, in the blue uniforms. Darius Tunnel, number 5. Number 2, Isaac Clay. Both teams crashed the boards a little bit. 2-1, Warwick up by 1 in the white uniforms. Coached by Jimmy Gerald. Denbigh won the earlier contest. Got to be proactive and get off to a good start.
Yeah, you know, it's like we said in the girls' game, Greg. How you start is often how you finish when it comes to the game of basketball. So you don't want a lot of turnovers early. You don't want a lot of fouls early. You know, you want to come out here, get into your offensive and defensive sets, and try to make something happen.
Nice shot there by the Raiders, right over number 30 for Denbigh, Raekwon Britt. 4-1 Warwick. Warwick beat Menchville, their only game so far this year. They got the win against Menchville.
And that was a big win. Well, any win is big for the Warwick Raiders, but especially against a hated rival such as the Menchville Monarchs. But they've got their work cut out for them tonight, Greg, against the Denbigh team that likes to get up and down the court.
Warwick right there out in the court is number 10, Thomas Goggins. Number 5, Jaquez Hood. As you see, number 2, Isaac Clay at the free throw line for Denbigh, respectively.
Clay's got those goggles on looking like Isaac Hayes, the old soul singer.
Number 21, Razik Carter Robinson for Warwick. And number 2, of course, Lual Rahama. Outside jumper is up, and it's good. Nice, clean shot by number 3, Messiah Camphor.
Camphor doing a good job. And there we see again Warwick trying to get in the passing lanes. But Camphor on that last shot, Greg, did a great job of finding just a little bit of space and putting up a high percentage shot. Great job by the Raiders.
Warwick's had some great coaches, legendary coaches, Jim Harvey, and of course Ben Moore, who's coaching Menchville now. Ben Moore and Jim Harvey put these programs on the map.
Absolutely. They laid the foundation, laid the groundwork for the programs that we see today. So, you know, you cannot forget such legendary names, you know, in the traditions of these schools.
And, of course, for Denbigh, Phil Forbes has coached this team, Dennis Katufis, and Jerry Ferrier. Ferrier made his name with Lafayette, though.
Yeah.
Coached the great Russell Bridgeforth for the Rams. Then he coached Denbigh later. Brian Weaver, the AD for Denbigh. Jenny Nuttycombe for Warwick.
I tell you, those Coach Katufis coached Denbigh teams back in the day. They were always tough defensively.
Yeah, Carlos Hurd played at both Denbigh and Heritage.
Yep.
Warwick with the ball, up by 3, moving the ball. They don't look like a team that's only won barely a game this year.
No, and that's the thing, Greg, and there you see a dangerous pass, but they're moving the ball pretty well. They've got good rotation. They're just not hitting the shots.
But they're up by 3. Here come the Patriots. Sometimes it's not a 50-yard dash. Nice shot off the glass. You see number 21 right there for Warwick. Razik Carter Robinson.
Great job. Let's take a look. RCR Razik Carter Robinson goes up, takes the contact, fights through it, says, I want my shot and my change. Gets a chance to go to the charity stripe to make this a 3-point play. Great job by Razik Carter.
He wants some of those breadsticks you were talking about.
Man, I'm telling you, he gets some breadsticks, get some pasta, of course, some great pizza from the good people at Fazoli's.
Say hello to Regina out there watching, my good Twitter friend and follower. Wow. And a special show right there.
Regina out in California. That was a Hollywood shot right there by the Warwick Raiders, up and under.
Warwick's playing like Showtime tonight.
I'm telling you. And they realize we got the cameras out here on them. They want to come out here and make a statement at home.
On live TV and the internet and live on YouTube. Air ball by number 2, Isaac Clay. Warwick again likes that dribble drive offense. Denbigh likes the man defense. Denbigh won the earlier contest this year.
And Warwick is doing a really good job right now, Greg, of penetrating and either taking the ball up strong or kicking it out to an open man. And that's why they got this lead right now, 11-3. Warwick Raiders on top of the Denbigh Patriots. I've been very impressed with their offense so far.
What are the keys for Denbigh and Warwick both? Denbigh first.
I think the key for Denbigh is they got to slow things down. Sometimes, you got to slow it down. Like New Edition used to say, Greg, cool it now. Mm-hmm. Ooh, watch out. Because right now, Denbigh's losing control. So they got to calm things down a little bit. And if they can do that, they'll find a way to slowly but surely get back into the game. Warwick, on the other hand, I think they've got Denbigh on their heels. So they might want to keep that pedal to the metal and keep this up-tempo offense going.
The shot is up and it's no good. Denbigh gets the rebounds. Really impressed by Warwick so far.
Wow, good block by the Warwick Raiders.
Here comes Rahama. Denbigh on the fast break. They need this. You don't want to go for a dunk. Oh my goodness, the Ferguson fans will remember that.
Wow.
That was visions of Lionel Miller missing against Booker T in 1984 on this floor.
Man.
Also a special shout out to Anthony Solomon, who played basketball for Warwick, who's now an assistant at Georgetown.
Take a look. They got a fast break wide open.
You need a layup, Nate.
$1 million move with the nickel shot. Thought it was going to be showtime, more like no time. Unfortunately, if you're going to get up there and throw it down, young man, you got to make sure you complete the task, because now Warwick was able to go the other way.
That would have been a momentum changer.
That would have been a momentum changer, would have given the crowd here, the Patriots fans that have made the trip out here to Warwick High School, would have given them something to get hyped about.
That was Raekwon Britt. Nate and I will give our overall thoughts on both these teams as the game evolves tonight. Glad you're with us live on Cox Cable 47, 517, NNPSTV.com. Greg Bickaveris, Nate Milton, the entire TV crew.
And that was Isaac Clay on that last score for the Denbigh Patriots, finally getting the shot to go down.
Good aggressive play off the boards. Shot selection, attack the glass like we just talked about. Transition, player game, not the opponent.
Yep.
Focus and intensity. Focus on the now.
Absolutely. And, of course, the other thing that you got to work on, of course, possession, ball control. You got to limit your turnovers and limit your mistakes, because that can cost you. And, of course, you need support from your bench, because your starters can't do it all. You got to have that great bench support to come in and spell your starting five.
Got to move without the ball, crash the boards, inside out play, mix it up. Only focus on this game. It's been a rough year for Warwick, but focus on this game for 32 minutes. As you see Demetrius Phipps, who went to Woodside, coach of Denbigh, making a total team effort.
You got to get all those bad thoughts out of your head, of course. And you also have to, rotate players. You got to keep folks fresh. It's a 30-minute, you got to play the full game.
32 minutes.
32 minutes. You got to play the full game. And, of course, avoid foul trouble early, because that can put your best players on the sidelines. Make sure they stay in the game, folks. It's all about managing the minutes and managing these players out here.
As we see, Hood at the free throw line, number 5. Great white uniforms for Warwick, blue for Denbigh. Classic Newport News schools. Glad you're with us. 3 minutes left in the first quarter. 8-point lead for Warwick at home. 13-5. We'll get the crowd a little bit more involved here.
I know we've got a crowd here, and folks, it's almost like being out in L.A. or Atlanta. We got a late arriving crowd here at Warwick High School.
They wanted some dinner first.
They went to get some dinner, probably picked up some Fazoli's on the way, and now, they're in here packing this gym, ready for an exciting game. And then so far, we've got two teams that are coming out here trying to prove a point.
I like how they're working the ball around very well. Going to cover the weak side. Accountability, focus on the task at hand, get off to a good start in the first half.
Absolutely. Of course, you got to keep in mind the goals that you set early and things that you've been working all year for. If you get a loss, you got to forget that quickly, get it out of your mind. It is a marathon, folks, not a sprint. And also, you got to get the fans into the game if you're here at Warwick. You want to get them to the game, and make sure that you're calling on those screens. You got to play defensively as a total team, and that's how you're going to come away with the win this week.
And the pick and roll, box out, spacing is important.
Yep.
Playing selfish, screen and post up is important too.
Exactly. Like we said in the last game, you can't be selfish out there. You can't have a whole lineup of Bobby Browns out there. You got to mix in some Ronnies and some Rickies and some Johnny Gills so you can have a team effort.
It ain't Sunday morning yet.
No, not at all. Not at all, my friend.
It's live on Friday night, January 27th. Don't forget sports highlights on nnpstv.com, archives. See Dr. Seelig on the homepage. Live school board meetings. Referees doing a good job too.
Again, give a shout out to our referees, of course. We got Reggie Proctor, Bobby Daniels, and the one and only Ted Albert. Great job by our officials here tonight.
Jimmy Gerald, coach of Warwick. Demetrius Phipps. Demetrius means Jimmy in Greek. That was my dad's name. 1:35 left in the first quarter. Outside jumper way off. Warwick needs to stay focused, Nate. That's been their problem all year long.
Yeah, Warwick has got to stay focused. They've also got to get some high percentage shots, Greg. You know, it's nice to have that three-pointer for the highlight, the ice chill, if you will, but you got to work on those fundamentals. Get those set shots. Work yourself into a position to get some high percentage looks, and that way you can extend this lead that you have right now.
Nate and I are matching 2 games in a row.
We are. We really like twins. We got the nice blue working tonight. You know, we got similar haircuts. You can mistake us for each other.
Ray's saying it's amazing. Ray's made us change shirts to make sure, but Nate, you're the one who messes up all the time.
Hey, I got to be a diva.
That's true. Nate Kardashian. All right, 1:15 left. Warwick going left to right in the white uniforms. Really love Warwick's athleticism. Where has that been all year? Of course, their football team, both these football teams made the postseason last year. But Nate and I are not big fans of losing records making it.
Absolutely not. We got to.
Especially if Menchville's tried so hard to even get to 500.
Yeah.
And they don't make it.
Menchville's tried so hard to get 2 games.
Yeah. I think, Nate, you should help coach.
And we got a Denbigh play. That's number 5, Darius Tunnel, coming up limping a little bit, walking off the court.
Yeah, out there you see number 32 for Denbigh as well. Clevon Belfield. Also number 10. Isaiah Gilliam for Denbigh in the blue. Number 4, Micah Bryant. Number 24, Clint Scott. And number 30, Raekwon Britt for Denbigh, the Patriots. The runner is good by Britt. 55 seconds left. 13-9, just like that, Denbigh cut it to 4.
Yeah, nice strong move by Raekwon Britt. The kids call him Raekwon the chef because he's always cooking up some nice plays, Greg. And again, Denbigh slowly but surely finding their way back into this ball game.
Sean Perry coming in for Denbigh, number 22. Love these classic uniforms. I really like Demetrius Phipps too. Was it Woodside? Woodside, of course, has won state championships before basketball. Excellent 5 Newport News schools. The runner's good. By number 2, our buddy, Lual Rahama.
Rahama taking the contact and finding a way to make the basket.
Acknowledge the other coaches in Newport News. Michael Gardner at Heritage, Steve Jesowitz at Woodside, and Ben Moore at Menchville.
Absolutely, and all of those coaches would like a player right there like Rahama, who was able to back his way down into the paint, took the contact and was able to get that continuation. Great job by Rahama.
Nice give and go as Perry connects. 30 seconds left in the first quarter. 15-11 Warwick. You got to watch it. Denbigh's all over them. And that answers that. Carter Robinson, hyphenated name.
Yeah, RCR. Rosique Carter Robinson with another big-time bucket for the Warwick Raiders.
Nice give and go by number 24. Clint Scott for Denbigh. Denbigh's had some great players like Sam Steen, Carlos Hurd. My all-time favorite was Timmy Smith. Ray, you remember that? We televised that game against Western Branch in the postseason. Boo Williams was our guest. And for Warwick, the great Anthony Solomon, saw him recently at Georgetown. The assistant basketball coach was an assistant at Notre Dame. Dallas Corey, Elton Brown, his brother's doing the concessions here tonight.
Absolutely. Got to give a shout out to the big man.
Elton. We interviewed Elton at his mom's house several years ago. Played in Virginia, one of the all-time great Virginia football players. Big fan. He played at Hampton and Heritage.
Yep.
But he'll tell you he's a crabber first.
We'll
leave it at that.
I'll say it's hard to blame them. They've had plenty of success on the hardwood and the gridiron.
I really think he was one of the best all-time football players ever on the peninsula, Elton Brown.
Absolutely.
He reinvented the line, basically. He was like a Dwight Stevenson was for the Dolphins.
And he had size and speed. I think that's what made him so dangerous.
All right, good play by Denbigh, 12 seconds. They have to realize there's only a few seconds left. They all want to be like LeBron and get that last second shot.
See what Clint Scott can get going.
1 second left, 18-14, Warwick up by 4. But you got to wonder, you don't think this is going to last, though. It's like it's not a confident 4-point lead.
Right, and the thing is, Denbigh took Warwick's punch early, and now you're seeing him come back. And it's like that old saying by Iron Mike Tyson, everybody's got a game plan until you get punched in the face. And Warwick gave Denbigh their best shot, but Denbigh is hanging around, folks. So this could be a long night for the Raiders if they cannot stop the Patriots.
All right, stay tuned for the text shout-out in the second quarter. Regina, if you're listening, you can text us too. Anybody can. Wide open. We did this during football several years ago. It's a proud honor to do it live tonight, thanks to, again, Ray Price, Greg Lesko, and Gabe. All right, that ends the first quarter with the score. We're at Warwick High School. The Raiders leading it by 4, 18-14. Stay tuned. We'll be back.
I still have a dream. It is a dream deeply rooted in the American dream. I have a dream that one day this nation will rise up and live out the true meaning of its creed. We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal.
All right, back live right here. We are live, folks, at Warwick High School in Newport News. This is the place to be. It is. The Raiders up by 4.
Absolutely, folks. Great game so far. 18-14 your score. Again, folks, we are live and direct on Cox Channel 47, Verizon Files 17, and, of course, NNPSTV.com. You can watch us worldwide, folks. Thank you for watching.
All right, text us a hi right now. Tell us your first name. Text us at 757-291-4234.
There you go, folks. Say hi. Give us a shout-out. What are your thoughts on the game? Again, 757-291-4234.
Say hi to us once again. Text us hi at 757-291-4234.
And standard message and data rates apply. I guess you got to say that.
We'll plug your first name only that you're watching the games tonight. All right, 18-14. The Raiders with the ball. And that is number 3. Nate, you got to look at Denbigh. They're sneaking back in the ball game very methodically.
Yeah, slow but steady. Like we said, you don't have to get all of your points back in one shot. At one point they were down by 10. You can't make up 10 points with one basket, so why try? You got to work slowly but surely, and they have gotten themselves back into this ball game, folks.
All right, this is Trish watching. Hello, Trish, with the area 805 area code watching. Say hello to Trish.
How you doing, Trish? Thank you for watching. Shout out to Trish, the 805. Everybody out there, again, watching this on NNPSTV.com.
Thank you to our viewers. Here we go again. The phone is blowing up, folks. She's watching. Ray Price will love this. In Sacramento.
Sacktown.
She's watching in Sacramento, watching her nephew.
Shout out.
Very good.
To everybody out there in California. Again, if you want to hit us up, 757-291-4234 and say hi.
Just like Trish. 20-16. Don't be shy. Say hi.
Don't be shy. Say hi. 4-point lead right now by the home team, the Warwick Raiders. It's a very tough Denbigh Patriot squad.
So we get City Councilman Marcellus Harris to join us. Get his headset working.
What's going on?
Denbigh football coach. Yep. Known him since he's been a kid.
You got me?
Yep. We're live tonight, too, just like you are in city council meetings.
What's up, guys?
So you're not on 48 tonight, you're on 47.
47.
That's it. All right, 22-16.
Checking out our Patriots here.
Yeah. Denbigh with the ball, trailing 22-16. Denbigh's beaten Warwick earlier this year, and sometimes you get off to a slow start in any sport, but the key is playing for a full 32 minutes.
Yes, they played them early in the year, and Warwick, they got this kid right here is a pretty good basketball player. I checked him out a couple times throughout the course of the year. Then it's also been exam week for the kids, so I pretty much expected us to have a slow start with everything we had going on school-wise. So, and being off and getting out of school early, but they're gonna pick it up.
Referee's doing a good job. You've had a busy year. Congratulations again on almost 1 year in city council and also coaching the football team. I know it's not easy multitasking, but I think your dad and your sister, got to give a lot of credit to your sister. I've known, as you well know, since I've been a kid. She gave you a lot of great advice.
Oh, yeah. I mean, my family, they've been real supportive. We're out here with my wife and kids today as well. But, you know, I couldn't do what I do now without the support of all my family, and especially the prayers of my father.
That's it. 22-16.
Oh, good pass. Oh.
Wow. Excellent ball movement right there by the Patriots. And B2, you know, you talk about we're in 2017, and, you know, without getting too political, this is a country where people, it seems, are more interested now in what they can do to make change in their community and make change in the country. As somebody that's taken that step, you know, what can you say out there to the folks watching around the country, or even here in Newport News, about how they can affect change in their community?
Well, the big thing is just letting your voice be heard about what's going on. That's a big thing. One of the main reasons I wanted to get into the position that I was fortunate enough to be elected to. It's just, plus watching my father throughout all this time, and just how the impact that he was able to have by just letting his voice be heard and helping those that felt that their voice wasn't being heard, and just showing up to city council meetings, writing your city council members, writing your senators, writing your delegates, letting them know some of the things, the issues that you have, and for the most part, we listen. We listen, and we want to be able to be accessible to each and every constituent citizen, because that's who we represent. We work for the citizens, so you have to make sure that if you have something that you're dealing with, something that is on your heart, just let them know. Let them know, because that's what we recognize and realize our job is for the people and not for ourselves.
Right, talking with City Councilman Marcellus B2 Harris, head football coach at Denbigh. Greg Pickaveris, Nate Milton, glad you're with us. It's 24-20. And not many people knew that you played basketball for the late George Walters. And it seemed like yesterday when you hurt your leg, just like it was yesterday. But had you ever thought about coaching basketball too? I know you don't have time right now to do it, but maybe let's say down the road, would that be something you might be interested in?
That's my love. I love the game. Found out that being that I was only 5'10", that it was more chances for me on the football field than it was on the basketball court. But, you know, I love coming out here watching these guys play. I feel nostalgic seeing Coach Charlie Peoples over there in the corner, who was one of my coaches at Ferguson as well. And it's just, I love being here in the city and seeing these young kids get out here on the court and do what I did as a young fella.
And you were part of our first live football game. Remember Ferguson Hampton in the fall of '95, and I got on Raymond. I got on Raymond the year before. I said, "How can you put Michael Vick in for B2?" And I questioned Raymond, but you know, both y'all turned out very well.
Yeah. When I have speaking engagements across the city, I was in Williamsburg not too long ago for a big NAACP banquet, and I share that story and how my goal was to be a high school quarterback, and it finally came into fruition once Aaron Brooks graduated. 'Cause I won't playing over him, and then playing into my 6th game of my junior year as quarterback. Coach Raymond called me to the office, said, we're gonna move you to wide receiver. Of course, I was crushed because I always wanted to play quarterback. We were doing fairly well, but then I always tell a story when I let everybody know that I got benched from Michael Vick. It makes it just not as difficult for being all the
But I
great
didn't
things
go to
that he
bat
did.
for you because I've known you longer.
Yeah.
I knew you were a little kid.
Yeah.
But it's all good. It turned out better for both of y'all.
Well, I like to tell everybody I had an impact on 3 NFL quarterbacks. In high school, I had Aaron Brooks and Michael Vick. Got to college, I had David Garrard, who had a long career with the Jacksonville Jaguars. So I like to think I had some contribute to them being able to be as
You want to give a
successful
shout
as they
out
were.
to your college teammates watching right now too at your school?
Down in East Carolina?
Yeah.
Oh man, I love my East Carolina guys, man. One of my guys that I was real close with, Troy Smith, got drafted 4th or 6th round to the Philadelphia Eagles. I played a couple years, stayed in contact with him, and then my roommate Rashawn Burns is up in New Jersey. Then all my North Carolina guys, I love those guys.
And you remember facing Ed Reed too.
Yeah.
Ed Reed played for Miami.
You remember some of the things I don't even remember.
Yeah.
That year we played at NC State because of the Hurricane Floyd that kind of made us go to Raleigh for a week because we couldn't get back on campus in Greenville. And played Miami. They had Ed Reed, Clinton Portis, Reggie Wayne, Santana Moss. They had a good squad, and we was able to pull that game out. That's one of the
An NFL roster.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of those guys ended up playing in the NFL, and that was one of the memorable times down in East Carolina.
All right, 26-21. Warwick still up by 5, 4:47. Hello to Regina. She's watching right now. She says, hi, Greg B. and Nate Kardashian. You are all the rock stars, along with the entire 47 crew. Love that I can watch the game live in Los Angeles, Regina.
Oh, wow, that's awesome.
Absolutely. Shout out to Regina again. Folks watching, you can hit us up and say hi. 757-291-4234. Say hi to Greg and Nate, and also Coach Marcellus B2 Harris.
Look at this, B2. Watching with Grandma in Massachusetts right
I
now.
wonder what part of Massachusetts
People are watching.
she's from.
Wonder what part of Massachusetts you're from.
My wife from Boston, that's why I asked.
Very nice. Go Raiders. So we're getting a text from somebody in Massachusetts too.
Yeah, my wife she's from Dorchester, Boston.
That's clam chowder around.
Yeah, every time we go out to eat to a seafood place, she wants clam chowder.
Has Bert taken you out to eat yet?
He has had several offers to go eat. That's my buddy. He called, I'm B2 and he's B double.
Yep.
B double.
That's it.
And I just want to appreciate you guys, man. You guys have been doing this for since I've been in high school, and I've been out of school since '96. So you guys, 26 years, you guys been doing this, man. We really appreciate it. I talked to my buddy David Macklin quite
And you and I
often.
aren't much difference in age either, you know.
Yeah, we always appreciate how you guys just were pioneers here in our local high school game. Okay.
The lady from Massachusetts just texted again. She's from Pittsfield.
Okay. Yeah, so I just want to give you guys a big shout out for all you guys do coming
Look at
out.
this. Hi from Tyra. I love my Raiders.
Oh man.
We're getting all types of texts tonight.
I'm kind of bittersweet being here because it's the Ferguson man, and this was our rival.
Yep.
And I have a love-hate relationship with the Raiders.
Right. Of course, B2 and I are proud Ferguson alumni,
Ferguson
of
High
course.
School.
If people say, where's your school? Now they say, prove it.
Right. You know, B2, you talk about, kind of the names, Michael Vick, Aaron Brooks, David Macklin, who I had a chance to play with when I was at Menchville, Robert Hunt, guys like that
good friends.
from this area, and just the way athletics, whether you go to the pros or not, the way athletics can open up opportunities for you. When you talk to the kids, what do you say in terms of how you can use sports as a way to, open up some avenues for yourself?
Yeah, one of the things we try to preach to our kids is our character and citizenship and how important that is when colleges come in and ask about our young men. One of the first things they want to know, other than your GPA, is what type of kids they are. So we always want to, as coaches in our program, we want to commit to our kids as having a good character throughout.
All right.
Because we want them to know that it's more than just being on the court and being on the field as well. Is how you character, because it builds and exposes the true person that you are. And then as opposed to that, we also talk about how I was able to get a free athletic scholarship because of, good grades and high character. And people don't know how important that is because I have friends now still paying back student loans.
Tell me about it.
Yeah.
How about the TV Center right there, folks? Our great juniors and seniors. Telecom Center offers a great opportunity for all rising juniors and seniors. Students receive hands-on instruction in television and video production that prepares them for a career of higher education in broadcast and multimedia. Learn from Professor Ray Price.
And that was one of our students at Denbigh, Miss Stuck, Eleanor Stuck.
Right.
Eleanor Stuck,
Ellie,
crew chief here.
Oh, she's awesome. She's awesome.
I want to say hi to it's Kim and Eddie. They're watching their grandson play. They're from Pennsylvania. So we're getting people from Pennsylvania watching right now.
I remember when we first started, we couldn't go past Newport News. Now we're all over the country.
All over, yeah.
Worldwide, and again.
And that's a testament to you guys, man. You guys sticking with it and coming out here on your Friday nights and letting these young people get highlighted the way they are. This is awesome. This is really awesome.
It's like you were saying.
Hey, mention on the city council meeting next time you're around.
Like a lot of times the kids get spotlighted for the wrong things that they do.
Right.
And I don't think enough times we shine a light on the kids for whether it's in the classroom or on the court, the good things that they do.
You'll like this one, B2. This is to Greg and Nate. Thomas Goggins fan club in Maine watching. We eat lobster chowder up here, they said.
And being that you said that,
you like lobster chowder?
Good block.
Man, excellent defense right there by the Denbigh Patriots. That was number 10, Zeke Gilliam.
All right, it's 27-23 Warwick. Up by 4 at home. It's a very tentative 4-point lead at the free throw line right now. Number 3, Messiah Camphor.
And just to piggyback on your statement there, one of the things we want to change the narrative of our young people. Our young people, they're doing a good thing. We have a lot of young people doing good things in our community. Just so can be unfortunate that a lot of times they highlight the negative things.
Right. This is positive tonight.
This is positive. Being able to be out here on the court, live TV, family, friends, and not out in the street. And
on a Friday night.
And on a Friday night. And you have to have grades to be able to be out here. So it's not like we have a bunch of just jocks running around. We got some kids that are intelligent as well.
Your dad and my dad both said it's the before and after that counts. Before you step on the court.
Exactly. And they wouldn't be able to step on the court if they didn't take care of their priorities prior to getting out here.
28-23. You guys have a lot of big decisions, too, with the Riverview Farm Park. That's been a lot in the city council news. But I want to say this, too, growing up here. We have the Newport News Park and we have the Mariners Museum, two of the best museums and parks in the entire state of Virginia.
Yeah, we got a lot. Newport News, what some people don't realize, we got a lot of good assets here in our city that could attract people to come and want to be a part of our great city. The Riverview Farm Park, I know a lot of people that's been in the news lately. It's a beautiful place. It's a beautiful place. My kids, we go out there and run around. I even take some of our football kids to go training up and down the hills. When they had a snowstorm, we were able to slide down the hills. So we have some beautiful places, beautiful spots, a lot of amenities here. And that's why when a lot of my friends, when we graduated, some graduated, moved on, I wanted to be right here in the city that I love.
And the thing is, like, if you haven't been to Newport News in 3 or 4 years, 5 years, it's a different place.
Oh, it's drastically
between
different.
the businesses that are here now and some of the changes that have been made. So, like you said, this is a great place to work and play.
Yes, it is. You would have told me when I graduated from high school that Christopher Newport would look the way it does now. I would have told you, telling me a story.
It's like a city within itself.
Yeah, then the tech center that we have up and running. A lot of good things that we have going on.
You've been coaching football for a long time at Denbigh.
Yes, I have. This is my I seen what you said. Yeah, this is going into my 10th year coming up next year.
Are you still as excited about it on Friday night? Or are there times you're multitasking like, I got to prepare for a city council meeting or a parade? Or are you pretty much just focused on the job at hand?
I love it. I love it. Everybody asks, how do you do what you do and keep up with everything? Coaching football is my release. That's how I get out and have fun with the kids. It keeps me young. And being able to give back to a game that's given me so much. We have our council meetings, we have our counseling
work sessions too. Yeah.
We have a lot that goes on, and I have a great group of guys around me, coaching staff that works with me, and we've been together for so long now that we kind of know what we want, what we don't want, so I can kind of trust them to do what they need to do. But I love coaching. I can't see myself not doing it.
I got to give a shout out to my good friend Sharon Scott, who's a fellow councilwoman as well. You know, Sharon, beautiful girl.
My good friend, my colleague.
Yep, absolutely. Of course, she's worked with you, and of course, Mr. Burry, who loves that One City Marathon. I'm surprised he hasn't got you running in that One City Marathon.
They're trying to get me out there to run. I can give him a couple miles.
Yeah. Nate and I can walk a half a mile maybe.
I was going to say, if it's the type of marathon I can walk, I might be able to handle it.
Yeah.
You still out there and practice with the kids as much as you can?
I try to. As I'm getting up there a little more, I don't do as much. I remember trying to sprint with them a couple of years ago, and I almost pulled a hamstring. So I tapered off a little bit with how much, but I still try to get out there and show them I got a little something.
And again, folks, shout out to everybody watching worldwide on NNPSTV.com. If you want to say hi, 757-291-4234. And I also want to give a special shout out to our men and women in uniform that are out there serving this country. And, you know, because of the things that you do, it allows us to have the freedom to do what we do. And one of the things we love to do is call these games and like B2 was saying, put a positive spotlight on the kids.
All right, sports highlights. This gentleman's been on it several times. Mondays at 7, 2 and 7, weekends at 9. On Cox Cable, 47-517. True labor of love for Ray Price and I. And we were, as you know, honored by the City Council last, right before you got on in June for the show.
Well, yeah, I remember that declaration that was made for you guys, man. Like I said, people appreciate your work. We see and I like this view I got right here. Maybe I need to come check you guys out a little more.
Be the commentator in the booth with us. For football, okay, like have a headset on, you know, and give us – that would be really neat to have like an extra headset maybe like at the end of the second quarter to get your thoughts going into halftime of a football game.
Yeah,
why
you
not?
See NFL guys do it. You know, coaches, college coaches, as they're coming off the field for halftime.
Everybody texting here.
They're Coach Harrison, I see.
As long as you're not texting during city council meetings, though.
Nah.
Okay.
We got to stay focused.
That's true. One thing about McKinley, he keeps the meetings moving pretty quick regardless, though.
Yeah, you know, he's running things, managing everything, and he gives us good information, what we need to know, real detailed, and when our meetings, we're about our business. We get the meetings in, hear from our citizens, and we try to stick to matters that you know, affect all of us.
Your football team did make the postseason. I know you're a competitor. You don't like making with a losing record, but at least you made and gave the kids another opportunity.
Yeah, I mean, you never want to limp into a playoff situation, but the thing about it is it gives us another opportunity to work with some of our young kids. It's almost like a bowl game for the colleges in which you can get that extra time to practice. Get some of the younger guys that may have played JV some varsity practice experience, more varsity practice experience. So it works to our benefit, even though, like I said, you want to have a winning record going into the playoffs, but we'll take the extra work.
And you know, you guys are arch rivals with Menchville. They've struggled a lot the last several years, but it's never an easy 48 minutes against them. Oh,
man, they this past year, I mean, they gave us a heck of a game, man. I don't even know how we pulled that one out. One of our kids, Monte Banks, made a big play where he took a 5-yard hitch and took it over 60 yards for a touchdown to win the game for us. And but they didn't make it easy at all.
30-27. Final few seconds of the first half. Outside jumper is up, and it's no good there by Clay. How many of these guys play football for you?
Right now, we don't have anybody on the football team except for a guy that came out late, Richard Russell.
You have one, at least one.
Yeah, one, but hopefully a couple more of the guys come out this next year.
See, it's not like it was back, you know, when we were playing, you know, when you saw a lot of crossover. You know, guys would play football and basketball or football and wrestling. And now it seems that it's more specialized. Is that something that you're seeing out there?
Yeah, it is. We try to promote, you know, being a multi-sport athlete. Got caught up watching this play here. Being multi-sport athletes, as we, you know, that's what we did. You know, year-round. My big thing is, as long as you're doing something, staying active, it's going to help us out on the football field. But how competitive things are nowadays, you know, kids want to get that year-round work in this sport that they feel that they're going to be specialized in. So, I mean, it's understandable. I know they want to get the hard work in, but being a multi-sport athlete helps you out as well. All
right, B2, thanks for all that you do for City Council and the football coach, and say hello to your father and your wonderful family, and continued success, health, and happiness for you and your family and your kids in the future.
I appreciate it so much. And like I said, I'm going to come check you guys out some more because I like this right here.
I like the view.
All right, 30-29, stay tuned.
schedules usually consist of 7 classes. Your homeroom class you go to every day, and it'll have your usual core classes. Math, science, social studies, English, and it'll have 2 to 3 electives. Lockers are usually located on either side of the hallways. Students would usually sit in the classroom. I would sit in the front of the classroom just to see the board better and everything, but you could sit in the front or in the back of the classroom.
I sit anywhere in the cafeteria with my friends, but my first day, I'll hit up my friends, ask what lunch they got, and ask them to save me a seat. It's 30 minutes, and you got 5 minutes to get to class. First lunch is 10:20 to 10:55. Second lunch is also 12 to 12:30. If you pack your lunch, you can pack your lunch, but also you could buy lunch at school. Certain days it's good to eat lunch, like nacho days it's good to eat lunch. And towards like your senior year, when you become a senior, you can leave the cafeteria and drive out to lunch like McDonald's or Dairy Queen down the street with a friend.
PE in high school is very similar to middle school in ways that you do the PACER test, you participate in activities such as basketball, soccer, flag football. Students have to dress out. They usually wear a t-shirt or basketball shorts or any type of athletic wear with athletic shoes. Students should generally take PE their 9th grade or 10th grade year. They also have alternatives such as dance and like outdoor PE, like you take it over summer. So I'd say 9th to 10th grade year, but you can go above and beyond and take it your 11th or 12th grade year.
We have 5 minutes and then a warning bell that gives us an extra minute to get to our class. So what we have is tardy stations set up at each corner of the school, and whenever we're late we have to go to there to get a pass. Accumulating many tardies will lead you to consequences such as OSS and ISS. So high school is so much more different than middle school, such as we have more freedom. We can walk ourselves to classes and we don't have to sit with our class at lunch.
In high school, you are assigned a counselor based on your last name. So each counselor has a caseload. So for example, at Minchfield, A through Beverly, those students are assigned to Miss Atkins. Row through Z, they are assigned to Mr. Washington. So if your last name does not change or you do not move high schools, you should have the same school counselor the entire 4 years. So in general, while you're in high school, there are 2 types of diplomas. There's a standard diploma and then there's an advanced studies diploma. With a standard diploma, you are required to have 22 classes. You also have to pass 6 SOLs. Now for the advanced studies diploma, you need at least 26 courses and 9 SOLs. In high school, you cannot be promoted if you do not earn at least 5 credits as a 9th grader. So in order to be in the 10th grade, you have to pass at least 5 classes. Now, in order to be in the 11th grade, you have to pass at least 11 classes. And in order to be considered a senior, you have to pass at least 15 classes or have 15 credits. GPA stands for grade point average. Now in high school, we take all of your letter grades, and these are your final grades that go in your transcript, and we convert those to numbers. So a standard A equals 4 points, a B equals 3, a C equals 2, a D equals 1, and an F equals 0. So a grade point average pretty much is the average of your final grades that are on your transcript. And it's extremely important because colleges look at your grade point average, and even if you're trying to get a job, they're looking at your grade point average. Electives are extremely important. They're just as important as your standard classes, as your other classes, I should say, because all of your classes, as I said, count towards your grade point average. So if you're taking Spanish, if you're taking Intro to Culinary Arts, if you're taking any additional elective, telecom, all of those courses count towards your grade point average. Just in general to freshmen, I need you to understand that your 9th grade year is your foundation, and it's extremely important to lay a firm foundation. With that, it's extremely important to be a part of extracurricular activities, whether it's sports or clubs. It's extremely important to take every class serious. It's extremely important to have good relationships with your peers, your teachers, your administrators, and of course, your school counselors.
If I could change anything that I did in my freshman year of high school, I think I would be more social because I transferred schools before I came to high school, so I would try to make more friends.
My 9th grade year, I wish I would have done different and stay up in class and do my work. I was slack and fall asleep a lot, and that messed up my GPA.
One thing I wish I did my freshman year was be more involved, such as clubs, do sports, and just really cherish the time, because now is my senior year. And that's what I'm doing right now, and I regret that.
Are you interested in science, technology, engineering, or mathematics? Have you ever wanted to build a robot with your friends? Well, then you should join FIRST. You may be thinking to yourself, what is FIRST? Well, I'm glad you asked. For inspiration and recognition of science and technology, or FIRST, was founded by inventor Dean Kamen to get young people interested in science and technology. And for those of you wondering, yes, Dean Kamen is the creator of the Segway. FIRST is built for children ranging from ages of 6 to 18 with the use of 4 different programs known as FIRST LEGO League Junior, FIRST LEGO League, FIRST Tech Challenge, and FIRST Robotics Competition. In each of these programs, students are given a challenge every year and are given a certain amount of time to conduct research about the theme of the challenge, build robots ranging anywhere from a small motorized Lego environment to large man-sized robots, and compete them with and against other teams from all around the world. Newport News participates in FIRST by hosting many teams at many of the Newport News public schools. Mentorville High School even hosts Rumble in the Roads, a FIRST robotics competition at the beginning of November every year. So what are you waiting for? Go join a team. What's that? You're not a student? Well, you're in luck, because many teams are in search of mentors to inspire the young minds of the future. Now that's enough of me. Go to firstinspires.org to find out more information about FIRST and its programs, and how you can join a team.
And back live right here in Newport News, Virginia. Glad you're with us right here at 8:20 Eastern, approaching in a couple of minutes. Greg Bickaveris, Nate Milton, our entire TV crew. Again, I mentioned it during the women's game. Folks, we haven't done live sporting events, at least on these airwaves. Ray Price and I have done a lot of live sporting events outside of this production, but this is a monumental effort to get this done on a remote location in Newport News from a very old school to begin with, and it took a lot of time, talent, and treasure on a lot of levels to get this done live on TV, on Cox, Verizon, YouTube, and websites on NNPSTV.com.
Yeah, absolutely. It's been a while since we've been able to say that we are live for you folks, but it's good to be back on Cox 47, Verizon Files 17, and NNPSTV.com, and we've got one heck of a game for you. 1-point game at the break, folks. The home team, the Warwick Raiders, up by 1 over the Denbigh Patriots. And again, want to send a shout out, thank you to all of the viewers, not only here in Newport News, but worldwide. And you've been texting us all during the break, 757-291-4234. Say hi and we'll say hi back. It's been a great night, folks.
Listen, we've had 757 area codes, 814 area codes, 207 area codes. And, of course, 805 area codes, all texting us tonight, watching online, live Showcase TV. What we like to do in Newport News is events. Kind of like what B2 Harris said. He brings an event presence to this community.
Absolutely, and this is the game of the night, folks. The hottest ticket in town here. Classic rivalry between Warwick and Denbigh, settling it out here on the hardwood. And again, folks, this is what we are all about here.
Nate's having trouble reading. That's it, Nate.
Got to give a shout out to Michelle and the good people at Fazoli's, folks, in Newport News, Virginia.
11739 Jefferson Avenue, very convenient. Open 7 days a week. They've been open since the 90s. 596-4324, Fazoli's.com. You can see their link on HamptonRoadsOnlineMall.com. Great people. They feed our students and staff. Let them feed you 7 days a week. Great for the Super Bowl party.
Absolutely. Get ready for the big game. Give Fazoli's a call. Pizza, pasta, breadsticks, and more at Fazoli's. And again, for the folks that want to say hi to Greg and I, 757-291-4234.
757-291-4234.
There you go.
Nate, your new name is Fast Break.
Hey, it's excitement here, folks. This is what it's all about. This is a premier event here, bringing it to you live. Cox 47, Verizon File 17, and NNPSTV.com. Worldwide, you don't need to go anywhere else. Turn off the NBA. Turn down for what, Lil John? Turn off the NFL. Nobody cares about you, Pro Bowl.
Oh, my goodness. Right,
this is what it's all about right
here,
here,
Beth
folks.
Scott, this graphic is for you, my dear friend. 31 years of television, of excellence. 31 years since 1986. And, of course, special thanks to Paul Cummings as well for getting it started.
Absolutely. It has been a pleasure and a privilege to be a part of the legacy here at NNPS Television, and, so many great staff and students over the years.
Getting a text from the truck.
Jose Solomon hitting us up from the truck. So, yeah, we got people in Massachusetts, people in Pittsburgh, people in the truck. 291-4234 if you're in the area. But if you're out of the area, 757-291-4234. Don't make me say it again, people. Hit us up, say hi, we'll say hi back. This is what it's all about, folks. Prep, basketball, athletics, activities, academics, bringing it all to you on NNPS TV 47. Thanks for joining us on this wonderful Friday evening.
Yeah, been a great experience here tonight as well. I want to thank all the people involved behind the scenes for making it work. Of course, Reggie Proctor, Bobby Daniels, Ted Alper, the officials. It's 30-29. It's anybody's ball game. First of all, what are the keys for Denbigh?
I think the keys for Denbigh, they got to come back out. And what we saw that worked for them in the first half was just the presence of mind to work the ball around. And for Warwick, Greg, I think Warwick's got to step up on the defensive end. They got to make some stops and really force Denbigh into a half-court game, because that's not where the Patriots want to operate.
I think Warwick was proactive. Denbigh was a little reactive. Yep. But still, anybody's ball game. It's wide open. 8-minute quarters. We're in the second half. We're in Newport News, Virginia at Warwick High School. Place made famous by Ben Moore and Jim Harvey.
Absolutely. Two of the greats, all-time greats here in the history of the Warwick Raiders. And we getting Cheyenne Brooks hitting us up on the text line.
And, of course, our viewers can do the same thing.
757-291-4234. Say hi to Greg and I, and we'll say hi back because we're friendly gentlemen. And we love that you guys out here watching this great rivalry here in Newport News.
It's a certain element when it's live.
Yeah.
And, of course, we just talked to, want to thank City Councilman Marcellus B2 Harris.
B2.
Kind of joked with him and said, this is not 48 tonight, it's 47. But he's on 47 and 48 as well. But anyway, it's all good. Great atmosphere here tonight. 30-29, 6:55 left here in the third quarter. Warwick is up by 1. Outside jumper is up. No good. Of course, Greg Bick on Twitter.
Greg Big on Twitter, and I am at @8 MOZAIK, at Nate Mosaic on Twitter.
Some of the great teams on the peninsula this year, like usual, Hampton and Bethel.
Yeah, Hampton, Bethel. Minchfield's always a dangerous team to contend with. But as we see tonight, Greg, records really don't matter because Both of these teams have the athletes. It's just a matter of, can you get it done on a consistent basis? That's been the problem here. But, when you talk about a team like Bethel, you talk about a team like Hampton, their athletes, they may have one or two more playmakers on the court, but for the most part, the talent around here is pretty similar. It's, can you be consistent?
And the great teams have that good bench support. Coming off the bench and playing for 32 minutes. We've seen that was an issue with the Wizards earlier. They're playing better now.
And that's what LeBron James is complaining about
right,
now.
The bench.
He wants more support from the bench.
We're not talking about the judge or the jury either.
Wow.
The give and go is good.
Excellent ball movement
by Thomas Goggins for Warwick.
Goggins, who has a fan club out there watching tonight. Great job by the Raiders on that last play.
Out there for Warwick is Goggins. Also number 3, Camphor. Number 21, Nate's favorite, Carter Robinson. Number 2, our buddy, Rahama. And number 5, respectively, Hood for Warwick. For Denbigh, number 10, Gilliam. Number 24, Scott. Number 4, Bryant. Number 2, Clay. Out there for the Patriots. And number 30, Britt. So that's your players on the court right now. 34-32, 2-point lead for Warwick at home. See Jimmy Gerald there. We had him on Sports Highlights during the fourth quarter of the year.
Let's take a look here at the replay. Let's take a look at this great move inside. Hood does a good job getting up there, takes the contact, isn't able to complete the three-point play because he misses the free throw, but Hood gets his own rebound.
Warwick moving the ball around very well. Denbigh won the earlier game this year. Great matchups over the years when Phil Forbes, Dennis Katufis, Jerry Ferrier coached this Denbigh team, and for Warwick, the great Jim Harvey and Ben Moore.
Absolutely.
Great rivalries in Newport News. Pop Pits at Menchville.
You talk about the tradition in this area, the heritage, if you will, of not only the players, but the coaches when you talk about these great schools. And these young men out here and these coaches on the sidelines are trying to live up to that heritage. And again, folks, you can say hi, send us a text, let us know you're watching, 757-291-4234, because we are live, folks. You talk to us, we'll talk to you. We are live on NNPSTV.com. Worldwide, folks. Like James Brown said, coast to coast and station to station.
Here comes Denbigh on the fast break. And the give and go is nice. That might be our play of the game so far. Nice shot right there by Scott.
Talking about coast to coast, great job by Denbigh getting the steal, and then on the fast break, Scott completing it at the other end, and another steal for the Patriots.
You gotta wonder how many fast breaks they can handle. That's what happens when you have fatigue. You just throw it up there.
Yep, that was Raekwon Britt who got the steal and then was fouled on the shot.
Denbigh likes the motion offense, the man defense. Their strength is the aggressiveness. Weakness is staying focused for 32 minutes, according to Demetrius Phipps, which means Jimmy. Of course, for Warwick, dribble drive offense in the white uniforms at the free throw line. Defense, they like the zone press. Strength is play hard. Weakness for Warwick has been the youth, according to Jimmy Gerald. We always hear from the coach.
And two great coaches here on the sidelines trying to play to the very end.
They're good friends.
Strong.
As always, nice glass backboard there. Getting so many great alumni played at both these schools in basketball. Sometimes basketball gets kind of the second shadow from football.
Yeah, well, I mean, football is, not just in high school, but also in college and professionally. Football is a marquee sport in this country. We're a couple weeks away from the Super Bowl.
We just got a text from Michigan. It says, "Go T-Man, love your Michigan fans." And this is what's amazing about tonight. We didn't promote the game that it was live. We didn't know till 5:30 if we were going to go live. And we're getting texts. This is from the state of Michigan, unsolicited.
I tell you what, forget Trump, forget Clinton. You and I are more popular consensus-wise across the country than anybody that ran last year.
We're going to have our own march next week.
I'm telling you.
T-Man, number 10.
Shout out.
Say hello to the Michigan fans.
Shout out to T-Man, the Michigan, great.
From the 616 area code.
616, great area up there.
We'll tweet 3 in the morning like Trump does.
Man, I bet you it's cold up there. It's too cold for my blood.
It's too cold in Newport News. The wind especially, the wind. All right, 8:30 in Newport News, Virginia. Greg Bickaberis, Nate Milton, glad you're with us. Cox Cable 47, 517, where a lot of people are watching, NNPSTV.com.
1 point game here. The Raiders trying to hold their home court. Hood at the line, makes the first of his free throw attempts. And, man, this has been a back and forth game, folks. So many lead changes, so many ties over the course of this game. And Hood puts the Raiders up by 1. Awesome action here, folks. Again, bringing it to you live here.
36-35, nip and tuck, anybody's ball game. Comes down to good fundamentals, dribbling.
Yep.
You know what's good about basketball? They can put the phones down, at least the players, not the viewers. Now, we want y'all to have the phones. But, just play basketball.
Well, yeah, again, it's something that B2 talked about when he was with us in the first half. It shines a spotlight on the kids, and you got to make sure your grades are right before you can even be out there. And, again, folks, we are live on Cox 47, Verizon 17, and NNPSTV.com. If you want to say hi to Greg or myself, you can hit us up at 757-291-4234.
36-35, 4:09 left here in the third quarter. Both teams want to win. And you want to evolve in the postseason, too. It's not just about the regular season.
Yeah.
You want to evolve in the postseason, be kind of like have your own February madness, like March Madness.
Well, even like, if you have a losing record, like Coach Harris was saying in the first half, it's still an extra game, some extra practice. You can get some of the underclassmen some time out there. So it has its merits.
We've got a confirmed fact. We're being shown live at Buffalo Wild Wings. Just got a text there from Paul. All right, this is a text from the 757 area code. Hi from Che Glizzy. Let's go, Rahama. Let's go, Rahama.
A fan for Rahama out there for the Warwick Raiders.
Rahama is our favorite, too. We love Rahama. He's number 2, Lual Rahama.
Lual's had a good game.
This is Shea Glizzy.
Shout out to Shea Glizzy. That's your government name.
Hey, Shay's our buddy.
Again, we are live here, folks, and if you want to shout out like Shea Glizzy, hit us up, 757-291-4234. And chime in, folks. Say hi, chime in, shout out your favorite player on the court.
One thing we know, we have viewers.
We got viewers all around the globe.
And they're not seeing green, they're seeing the hardwood.
Yeah, there you go.
3:15 left in the third quarter. Warwick hanging on to a 1-point lead. Warwick in the white, Denbigh in the blue. Crowd's starting to get more involved here as well. Greg Bickaberis, Nate Milton, glad you're with us. Our great crew in the truck, will acknowledge them, of course, more so in the fourth quarter. Led by Ray Price and Bill Barlow and Greg Lesko and Carl Daniels. All right, another area code from the 214. Shout out to T-Man Goggins from Dallas.
Hey, Goggins has a fan club. Goggins is super popular. He has been getting shots out all night.
We're getting texts from Dallas. Say hello to Jerry Jones for us.
We'll say.
Nate and I want to go watch wrestling in the at the Dallas Stadium there.
I'm telling you, man, you talk about the Cowboys and Jerry Jones. Goggins has probably been more accurate than Tony Romo tonight. Oh, that was a lot.
He kind of reminds me of Love for Cleveland.
Yeah,
Kevin Love does. He's very similar. Very similar player.
Play inside and outside. Yeah, he's very versatile.
And we always stay neutral. Nate and I did not go to either school. I went to Ferguson. Nate went to Menchville. We want to see the best team win.
Yeah.
And we've always been that way for 26 years.
We want to see a good hard-fought game, but also a clean game where both teams get a chance to shine and the people out there watching get a good show. And it's been a good show so far tonight.
Denbigh's got the lead now, 39-38 with 2:54 left. Warwick in the white going right to left, Denbigh in the blue. Also say hello to Michelle and Elijah Price watching as well.
Some risky passing right now by the Raiders.
Elijah's saying, Greg, give me those string beans ready at the Greek Festival. So we're cooking them up.
Get some good baklava working. I mean, you are the vice president now, Mr. Bicaveras.
Of the church.
Of the church. So you know, you can pull some strings with me. Give me some baklava.
That's it. Look at this. We got another text from Philadelphia. Go number 10.
Philly. Shout out Philly. I don't know if that's a number 10 for Denbigh, Zeke Gilliam, or number 10 for the Warwick Raiders, Goggins. But Goggins has got his fan club working tonight. Overtime.
Oh, my goodness. All right, this is shout out my boy Tom Goggins, my boy Camp, Hood, Rahama, everybody. Go Raiders. That's from the 757. This is from the 757. Yoo-hoo. It's Miss Porter. Let's go Rahama and Messiah. Y'all know I'm supporting. She says from the bed.
Man, Raider Nation stepping up tonight. Raider Nation is alive and well out there, shouting out your Warwick Raiders, taking on arch rivals Denbigh Patriots here tonight. Good movement, though, by the Raiders. Good ball movement.
Unbelievable the text we've had tonight in our first live game in some time. The runner is off. Less than 2 minutes in the third quarter. We still have another quarter left.
Man.
Regina's texting us too, of course. We've had countless amount of texts tonight.
In Michigan, California, Ohio, Texas.
We've heard from the 805, 757, 814, 207, 616, 214, 267. Unbelievable tonight.
Everybody watching it live, thanks for watching this exciting contest between these two teams out here on the peninsula.
And, of course, another text from watching Sabri on the bench. He's got a hashtag, put Wessam in. And you've got a hashtag for it.
It's almost like American Idol. We got to get these players some run.
Nice layup right there by number 24 for Denbigh, Clint Scott.
Nice job defensively, forcing the turnover by the Patriots. Again, leads to easy points on the other end by Clint Scott. Again, folks, if you want to shout out, if you want to chime in, if you want to say hi, 757-291-4234. Because we are live, folks. Again, want to send a shout out to Michelle and the good people over at Fazoli's for the work they've done, feeding our crew.
There's Demetrius Fripps talking right there to number 32, Belfield for Denbigh, respectively. Demetrius in the red shirt, gray khaki pants. He's like Nate and I, he loves khakis.
There you go.
Nate and I are not big blue jean fans. Here's another text. Read it, Nate. Y'all are the best commentators on the East Coast. That's what I'm talking about. Turn y'all up.
There you go. Turn us up.
Gotta love that, Nate.
Turn down for what is what I say, Greg Bicaveras.
We keep getting texts, Nate. Oh, it's another Philadelphia text. Philadelphia loves T-Man.
Philly representing.
267 area code. People watching all over the country.
And we got the technical free throw here for the Warwick Raiders.
Great job, our crew. And all those that are texting, our behind-the-scenes crew is our MVP for tonight.
Absolutely. Got to give a shout-out to Ray Price and Bill Barlow.
Get his name right now, Nate.
in the words of Kevin Durant, y'all the real MVPs.
And we keep getting it out. Shout out to number 1, Camphor, and number 3, Baker. We're getting a lot of texts.
A lot of Raider love on the text line. A lot of love for the Warwick Raiders.
41-38 Denbigh, 1:15 left. We're still in the third quarter, 8 minutes left. All presented by Fazoli's.com. Hope you enjoyed our wrestling as well. We had Heritage, Menchville, and Denbigh.
Menchville and Denbigh. It was a great three-way wrestling event that we got to bring to you folks.
Well, there are some things they can learn from, in our opinion, WWE still as well, as far as bringing that presence there a little bit.
The WWE and the UFC, the presentation, if you will, of your sport and getting, more eyeballs. Even more.
Nice shot right there by number 24, Scott.
And again, folks, my boy Joey Cruz.
From Harlem. Harlem's texting us.
Home with Luke Cage.
Harlem's had some great Motown over the years too, right?
Harlem, stand up. Shout out to the Apollo Theater.
They're watching us tonight too.
Harlem, stand up.
My good friend Paul from Buffalo Wild Wings. 43-40. Denbigh's up by 3. Greg Bicaveras, Nate Milton. Where's Sam Price out when you need him?
And so, if I know Sam Price, he's working hard. One of the hardest
we could have used him some security
people
earlier.
I know. And this game has
Jimmy
been
Gerald right there.
so many twists and turns and ups and downs in this game. A lot of lead changes.
Be a great fourth quarter. Stay tuned for that.
Look at the intensity.
You wouldn't think that Warwick's only won barely a game this year.
It was, and that's the thing. You know, we talked about it earlier, Greg. It's not a lack of talent for Warwick. It's just they haven't been able to put everything together.
And focus and sustain that focus.
Yes. And now, you know, here with the bright lights and the cameras on, that Warwick is bringing the action, wanting to step up.
Also, my boy Mello in the red hoodie on the bench. Goodness, there he is. We see him
Mello in the red hoodie.
on
Shout
the
out
bench,
to him.
on the Warwick bench. He's just chilling. He's just relaxing.
That Mello's probably having a better game than Carmelo Anthony this
He's like
season.
Nate and I, just sitting back.
Carmelo Anthony almost traded for him and Phil
You
Jackson.
don't want to get Nate off the couch.
I'm telling you, hey, you got to pay me to get me off the couch. Like Bobby Brown, I don't show up until you pay.
30 seconds left in the third quarter. 43-40 Denbigh with the ball. Nice give and go. Isaac Clay. No cement there.
Nice job by Isaac Clay, Greg. Up and under move in the lane.
Like Isaac Bruce.
Isaac Bruce or Isaac Hayes. I don't know what was going on right there, but a great job by the Denbigh Patriots. Good ball movement by Warwick, though, responding.
And Regina just texting saying, Sam Price is asleep. Wake him up.
Hey, you got to stay woke with a game like this.
Oh. All right, so we played 24 minutes. We got 1 quarter left.
Wow.
On the road, Denbigh leads it 45-42. Stay tuned.
The Telecommunications Center is an award-winning television production facility for high school students in the Newport News Public Schools. Students can learn studio, remote production, audio operation, editing, directing, and much more. Students can also earn college credit through dual enrollment. The center has graduates working for MTV, ESPN, CNN, Entertainment Tonight, and Tyler Perry Studios. If you want to jumpstart your career in broadcasting, contact your guidance counselor or call 591-4687.
All right, back live right here, Nate. Denbigh's got the lead. They need to stay focused. Warwick's got to regain their composure.
Yeah, Denbigh with a 3-point lead on the road. Warwick has got to stay focused. One of the issues that we've seen all game long, Greg, is Warwick can get some offense going, but it starts and stops. They haven't had a consistent offensive attack so far.
All right, telecom right here. Nate, our great students. You were part of that.
Yes, absolutely. Shout out to our students. And if you're a rising 11th grader out there and you want to be educated in the field of TV production, give a call to the good folks here at Telecom, 757-591-4687. You can schedule a tour. You can meet some of our great instructors here. Again, shout out to the great staff here at Telecommunications Center, 757-591-4687, extension 0. If you're a rising junior and you're interested in being a part of this crew, give them a call.
All right, 1 more quarter left. Denbigh won the earlier contest this season to try and sweep Warwick this year, as both teams want to position themselves for the after the season, the postseason.
Yeah, you know, whether you're going to the playoffs or whether you're getting ready for off-season training, you want to finish the year on a good note. If you finish anything, you want to finish on a good note, and that's what both of these teams are going to try to do tonight, Greg Bicaveras.
Got our fourth quarter report card coming up later. Nate Song, our Fazoli's MVP, our atmosphere. What do you think about the atmosphere for the girls and the boys overall?
I think, folks got here a little bit slower. Like I said, it's kind of like L.A. or Atlanta with the slow arriving fans. But now they're in here, they're hyped, they out here, as they say. And this has been an exciting game, and it's going to be a close finish.
Shout out to Ray Morris. Shout out to Ray Morris. Excellent text. Thank you, my friend, for texting. Whoever you are from 757.
I'm telling you. Denbigh with a good job on the fast break. Again, shout out to everybody, all our listeners watching us live on NNPSTV.com. Again, all over the world, maybe tonight more than ever, Greg. We're live from Boston to Boise, Fargo to Fresno, Dallas to Detroit, and all points in between. NNPSTV.com.
Denbigh opening up the lead. We both said that even with B2, it was never a comfortable Warwick lead.
No, these two teams are too evenly matched. Despite what the records may say, there's not this wide disparity of talent between these two squads. So Warwick has got to play up to their potential because they cannot sleep on this very tough Patriot squad.
Their camera operator as well.
That is Muriel Gamble.
She's up in the booth with us during football.
Absolutely. Muriel is a great young student. Except for her love for the Philadelphia 76ers, she is almost perfect. But other than that Joel Embiid fandom, I don't know what Muriel's got going on. But other than that, she is wonderful, folks.
7 minutes. And the Patriots up by 5. Lorenzo
doing a great job over there on the cameras. Again,
look, you were talking about him because he scratched his nose a little bit.
Got to give a shout out to all of our great crew here.
He's matching shirts. He's wearing the same shirt I'm wearing tonight, Nate.
I'm telling you, we got that color scheme going. So yeah, shout out.
Not like the NFL rush colors though.
To Lorenzo for doing a great job on the cameras.
Yep, great job by Ray and Greg and Carl in the truck. Bill Barlow.
Yep.
Bill used to walk around Patrick Henry Mall so much we should name them all after him.
The Barlow Center.
Yeah. 50-44. Bill, there's Darren.
Darren, a.k.a. Ricky Bell. That's what I call him. He's a young man so smooth up there with
young
the camera
Ray Price
shots.
doing the camera.
Yeah, he's like the next generation. Good ball movement now by the Patriots.
50-46. Denbigh. Warwick needs to stay focused here. You don't need to try to make up for it so quick, Nate.
Man.
There's Eleanor.
The chief, Eleanor Stuck.
Yeah, she comes to the Greek Festival all the time. I want to see a smile on that face.
I bet. Let's take a look at this the replay. This is a great show of concentration right here. Great move inside by Warwick. That's Rahama. Unfortunately, the shot did not count, but you can see Warwick still fighting here, still trying to scratch their way back into this game, down by 4 to the visiting Denbigh Patriots.
We're getting this text, give the people what they want. T-Man needs more fouls.
I'm telling you, Goggins is I need to find out what he's doing to enhance his brand because I need to get more famous.
Both teams need to button up here. 50-46 Denbigh, Warwick in the white, going right to left. Warwick likes that dribble drive offense. Denbigh countering with the man defense for the most part tonight. Still plenty of time before we do Nate's report card. See Demetrius Phipps.
Wow.
Great showcase. Kind of an element of surprise. A great treat for the fans. Live TV and live internet tonight.
Nothing like live TV, folks.
Live web, too.
Live on NNPSTV.com.
Hashtag free Tom.
Hashtag free Tom.
We're getting tweets and texts. We're going to get Ray Price on Twitter. Regina's on Twitter.
And here's something, though, Greg, that our viewers might not have caught. But on that last play, you saw Camford, number 3 for the Warwick Raiders, upset because he was wide open, and they didn't inbound the ball to him. He was wide open for a three-point shot. So a little bit of miscommunication here. Warwick's got to cut down things like that if they want to get back in this ball game.
You got to stay focused for 32 minutes. You see Jimmy Gerald. Excellent young man. Another text right here. We're not even giving out our phone numbers right now. Shout out to Joe, Sammy, Lual Rahama from Shooter Ray.
Shout out to Shooter Ray.
Hashtag Lual pass the ball. Sounds like you and I shooting out there, Nate.
Everybody's a coach now, Greg. Everybody's got advice for these young men out here. Strong move, though, right there by the Denbigh Patriots. That was Clark Scott. Scott taking it strong to the hoop.
All right, we're getting requests from post-game interviews. This is from the 207 area code. Post-game interview with T-Man. The people demand it. He's a Pats fan.
I'm telling you, man.
Greg and Nate and Thomas Goggins fan club. You'll love that lobster chowder. Actually, the first time I married a girl from Maine. He's right. The lobster chowder is very good there.
And seafood's supposed to be good for you.
Yes.
I love good lobster, clam chowder, crabs, crab cakes.
Of course, you spent some time overseas in Japan.
Yeah, I've been to Japan, been to Canada. I'm a man around the world. So I'm Greg Bigaveris, obviously, in your travels around, my friend.
Gotta love to travel.
Been to Greece and
3 times.
I'm sure they got a suite over there for you by now, the Bigaveris suite.
On an island. All right, let's stay right here with it. It's 4:50 left. Denbigh control, up by 5, 52-47. All right, Sharon Scott's watching right now. Hello to my beautiful friend Sharon, City Councilwoman of Newport News. And of course, she represents this area up in Denbigh as well.
Yep.
She said we're making her hungry. Sharon, you can come to the Greek Festival anytime, honey.
The colleague of B2 Harris.
Yep, dear friend of mine, and we love Sharon. Sharon will tell you like it is, too.
And that's the type of people we need in public office. People that are honest and don't use alternate facts, Greg.
Of course, shout out to Tom Brady out there, too, as well.
Tom Brady, yeah. I wish Tom Brady all the best, except for this Sunday coming up in a couple weeks where he has to face off with my Atlanta Falcons. I'm not partial with that. I got to show my love for Atlanta.
Sharon Scott says she loves me back. We love her. She's the best.
So that's what it's all about here.
I think her and Jessie Ratley, in my opinion, are the 2 best women city council women we've ever had. Her and Jessie Ratley.
I'm telling you, Jessie Ratley, obviously a name with lots of gravitas in this area, the history here.
She's good friends with my dad, Jessie was.
So many great public servants that we've seen over the years here in Newport News.
We're getting another hashtag, Nate. Let the real Melo play. Now, that's the one thing. I don't say that's the thing LeBron wanted. He wanted Carmelo to go to Cleveland. Ain't going to happen, though.
No, and the thing is, I don't even think he'd be a good fit for the Cleveland Cavaliers. Carmelo Anthony is not somebody that's going to get rebounds or play defense, so they didn't need him. Warwick needs to give number 10 the ball and clear out. Tom Goggins is a walking bucket.
That's where we're getting a text from somebody.
Goggins is points waiting to happen is what the people are saying.
Sharon, thanks for the text as well. You are quite welcome.
This groundswell. I mean,
shout out to Chance and the Warwick wrestling team. That's great.
Okay.
And Tony, we have him on Sports Highlights coming up in a few months. The head coach, he helped us commentate.
Yeah, Tony was great. And again, folks, if you missed our wrestling event, you can go online right now to the YouTube page, the Newport News Telecom Network YouTube page, and check it out on demand right now. We've got our wrestling events. We've got all of our football games from last year. So go and check it out, Newport News Telecom Network on YouTube, and see what these young men and women here in this area have been doing to make everybody proud of them.
Hey, Sharon, somebody wants to say they hope you're feeling better. See if you can guess who this voice is.
Hey, Miss Sharon, this is Marcellus. Hope you're feeling better.
Awesome.
One city council person talking to another.
I was going to say, man, just a great caliber of public service we have here in this city, man.
That's it. All right, we're getting an area code from 336. What's up, Greg? This is Dino. I'm just calling because you said you were going live, so I know you're going to do good. Dino. Oh, Dino, right, you didn't tell me. Okay, great.
Shout out to Dino.
I'm so used to calling him Van Price. Love you, Dino. High Point, North Carolina. Ray's mom is the best cook ever in North Carolina. All right, hashtag give number 3 the ball now.
Make up your mind, people. Do you want Goggins to have the ball, or do you want Camphor to have the ball?
Sharon Scott just said, LOL, thanks to B2. Shout out to the graduating class of 2017. It's making Nate feel really old.
I'm telling you, man. Not as young as they used to be.
Hashtag give number 20 the ball.
And I'm telling you, this is a crucial time right now for the Warwick Raiders, Greg. That lead for Denbigh is starting to expand. Warwick needs to make some stops right now to get back in here.
55-47. A little over 3 minutes left in the fourth quarter. Glad you're with us. Greg Bickaveris, Nate Milton. Live right here on Cox Cable 47, 517, NNPSTV.com. It's the place to be in Newport News tonight. Of course, you just saw where B2 Harris said say hello to Sharon Scott right there. Hope she's feeling better.
Yep. Again, just great people here in the city of Newport News, folks. If you're watching around the country or around the globe, again, shout out to our men and women in uniform who provide and protect our freedoms. Because of what you do, it allows us to do the things that we love to do. And one of the things we love to do, Greg, is bringing this intense high school action to the people out there.
And the men and women of the military and the reserves,
yeah,
like Ray Price, too, and all his great comrades who went to Andrews for so many years in the Air Force Base. Army, Navy, Air Force, Marines, Coast Guard, Reserves, National Guard, Merchant Marines, the guys in the submarine that have no access. We're saying hello to you.
It depends on how good the Wi-Fi is underwater, I guess.
I tell you, that's a really tough thing, is being in the submarine, I would sure, Nate.
Yeah, I am a little too claustrophobic for that, Greg. I need my space. I need my room.
Yes, but hello to all the submarine people, too.
So many sacrifices the men and women in uniform make, staying away from their families for extended periods of time, being put in harm's way. So, again, shout out to all of you.
And Reggie Proctor, Bobby Daniels, and Ted Albert, the officials. All right, Warwick's under the gun here, down by 8, 55-47. 2:58 left in this ball game. Warwick and Denbigh, two of the oldest schools in Newport News. All right, getting another area code here. In college, you get 6, right? It's senior night. So let's say it's close enough. All right, well, 55-47, now it's 8. Here comes Denbigh. But good text nonetheless.
We are interactive, folks.
Interactive, that's the best way to be in the social media age we live in. But we were ahead of our game doing live TV back in 95.
Yeah.
Where most only dreamed about it.
Tell you, for these schools out here and these kids that are getting an opportunity to play in front of a live audience both locally and nationally and even internationally, it's something that even a lot of kids at college don't get to experience. So, again, you got to tip your hat to Ray Price, Bill Barlow, Greg Lesko, and the rest of the crew and the kids here for NNPSTV.com.
Right. The executive producer is Michelle Price, coordinating producer Ray Price, director Bill Barlow, engineer Greg Lesko, Carl Daniels, all doing a great job in the truck with our audio and visual tonight. So many different sporting events, over a dozen over the years. Nate Milton, the student crew.
All right, give a shout out to our student crew here as we see Warwick moving that ball around. Of course, we got Jose Sullivan, Gabe Odachowski, a.k.a. The Matrix, Deion Davis, Summer Ely, Cheyenne Brooks, Muriel 76er Gamble, Eleanor the Chief Stuck, Darren Cooper, a.k.a. Ricky Bell, Cam Dorsey, and, of course, Mary, quite contrary right. And, again, shout out to Lorenzo as well. And Dwayne Peterson. Great job by our student crew tonight.
And to Jordan. And who's leading basketball. Another text. Great job by the crew in the truck. And the camera students here on the court. Indoors makes it nice for everybody. No rain, no snow, nothing. Just a few weeks ago, we had a major snowstorm here.
Absolutely. Well, I guess some of our listeners or viewers in Michigan, they're probably laughing at us when we say major snowstorm. But for us down here in the 757,
half an inch is a snowstorm.
It was an inconvenient snowstorm.
All right, Nate, report card, Denbigh, Warwick, and atmosphere once again. Denbigh, overall great.
Overall for Denbigh right now, coming in on the road facing this Warwick team, I'd have to give them a B for their efforts tonight. They've moved the ball well, they played defense, and they've stood up to a hostile crowd.
Warwick.
But Warwick, despite the love for your man Tom Goggins out there, everybody, and Rahama, and Camphor, and Hood, and RCR, Rosique Carter-Robinson, all these guys out there. Warwick has just not had the consistency that you'd like to see tonight. And so, I think the effort's been there, the hustle's been there, but it's not showing up on the scoreboard. So I'm going to have to give the Warwick Raiders a C for their efforts tonight. So C for Warwick, B for Denbigh. And as far as the atmosphere, both here in the gym and also live, I'm going to give everybody an A for the night because it has been a hype tonight, off the chain. Turn out for what? Thank you for watching, and thank you for everybody for chiming in and being interactive with us tonight.
Shout out to Jefferson, Maria, Valerie, John, Nate's sister as well.
Evangeline, my nieces out there down in Charlotte, North Carolina, or Zebulon, which is kind of close to Charlotte. And shout out to everybody watching, man, and then my college folks at Dean College up in Franklin, Massachusetts watching, and even my buddies from the Fight Network up in Toronto, Canada. Shout out to you guys.
Yeah, go T-Man. Love you, honey. Mary loves Thomas. Go Raiders. T-Man playing great. Thank you.
Tom Goggins is the most popular man in America right now. I bet you if you look on Twitter right now, Tom Goggins, T-Man, is trending around the world.
He is. It's 154 left, 56-48. Nate, the MVP. Fazoli's MVP.
Unfortunately, it's not going to be Tom Goggins. I think the Fazoli MVP for me, you talk about what Clay Scott has done for Denbigh. You talk about what Isaac Clay has done for Denbigh. Raekwon Britt for the Denbigh Patriots. A lot of great team basketball being played, but I think I'm going to have to go back and give it to Scott. Number 24 for the Denbigh Patriots, Clark Scott, who both with his defense and with his offense has led the way for Denbigh. And Clint Scott, the kids call him Clark because he's like Superman. Clark Kent taking the cape off. But, yeah, Clint Scott has done a great job tonight.
It's time for Wissam to get – he needs 30 apiece. That's another text.
Again, Clint Scott, our Fazoli's player of the game. And nothing goes with pizza like Fazoli's. Shout out to Michelle and everybody from Fazoli's at Fazoli's.com.
56-50.
Oh, man.
That doesn't quite ice it yet, Nate.
That was $1 million move and a nickel shot.
We'll get hashtagging. We do live next time, Jose. Great thoughts. Hashtag NNPS TV. But who controls the TV Twitter for our channel is Beth Scott.
There you go.
So we need to get Beth moving along, too.
Maybe she can take some lessons from our current president how to be active on social media.
Or from our viewers tonight. Thank you to all our viewers.
Absolutely.
You are the MVP on TV and online. Great interaction. Thank you, viewers. Thank you, thank you, thank you. 56-51, 127 left in the fourth quarter. There's our buddy right there, the one and only, Lual Rahama. Hey, we're not quite ready to do that song yet.
But I am warming up the pipe, so for those watching around the globe, around the country, if this is your first time, we're going to warm up the pipes and sing the loser off the court tonight. But again, great effort by both teams so far.
Sports Scene, 12 o'clock on Wednesdays. TuneIn.com. Type in WHKT to listen to my radio show. Fusion Fitness, sports highlights, live school board meetings, all on NNPS TV. Great student productions.
Yep.
All their great time, talent, and treasure 24/7.
And I can't say enough about Fusion Fitness, folks. Again, if it's a new year, you're trying to make it a new you want to get in shape, you want to be healthier, want to get your body right, check out Fusion Fitness.
NNPS Telecom Network. We love it. Want to thank Ray and Carl for putting it up. I tweet it. Nate occasionally retweets it. I've got to beg Nate to retweet it. But they do a great job, folks. And thanks to some of the kids here who pushed us to go to YouTube Live as well.
Absolutely. Shout out, specifically the Matrix, Gabe Odachowski. Great job again by our students here. These are 11th and 12th graders, folks, bringing this game to you.
It's time for Wissam to have a T-Mac moment. We're getting a text.
All right. if Denbigh's going to, if Warwick's going to do something, they got to step up right now.
$120 left, 56-52. Glad you're with us. We'll be replaying this game. Go to nnpstv.com, the programming schedule, sometime next week for the programming schedule. Everything is so on demand. I remember the first time Ray and I were watching the first Star Wars movie in like the late 90s back in his old desk in the back. And we were seeing something on demand on, just the trailer for Star Wars. And look how much we've come along in the 90s since the internet. The internet's not that old.
No, and the thing is, not only can you watch stuff online now you're getting specific stuff made just for streaming, whether it's Hulu or Netflix, like Luke Cage and the Marvel shows, or Stranger Things and The Get Down. Like, there's so many great programs that are only available through these streaming services, so you got to give a shout out to the way technology has allowed people to watch TV now.
Sharon Scott just texting again, says, come on, Denbigh. She represents Denbigh. Sharon's my buddy.
Denbigh trying to hold off this final charge by the Warwick Raiders. Can Warwick make up this deficit?
Look, we're getting advice from the fans saying put Thomas in. We're not talking about the English muffin either.
Telling you, the T-Man, Tom Goggins.
Yeah, we need to see Tom back in.
Almost becoming a folk hero at this point.
He is.
Like Paul Bunyan.
Like Superman.
Let's go, Blue. Come on.
Clark Kent.
Clark Kent.
Mark Twain almost.
The Bruce Wayne. Tony Stark.
Say hello to all the concerned citizens of Denbigh out there. They used to be big back in the day.
4-point lead, just over a minute to go here. Can Denbigh complete this victory?
Hey, this is the one night the TV talks back to you.
I'm telling you. It's totally interactive.
That could ice it, Nate. That could ice it. That's all.
Wow.
Every shot is
that could be the ball game right there.
59-53. Denbigh slowing it up. Nate, take it away.
And this is it, folks. Denbigh coming away with the victory. So for the Warwick Raiders, and that's going to do it right there. The up and under. For the Warwick Raiders, got to sing the song to send them off. Tribute to the late, great Dandy Don Meredith. Used to sing the song. I was waiting to see if he was going to dunk it. Because you can't sing over dunk. It's a rule.
All right, number 10 in the court, number 1 in our hearts. Go ahead.
There you go. But send this one out to Tom Goggins and all the rest of the Warwick Raiders. Turn out the lights, the party's over. They say that all good things must end. Call it a night, the party's over. And tomorrow, and perhaps next week, Tom Goggins will do the same old thing again.
Hashtag Raekwon be great.
Let him be great.
The texts are still coming in. Unbelievable. Well, that's what they get for not putting Wissam in. Wissam has been popular, too.
These fans are getting more saltier than that Turkish chef, sprinkling that salt, folks.
Add the pepper, too, Nate.
Add the pepper to it.
They talk about Wissam and Goggins.
I'm telling you, man, like this, and that's the thing, when you've got such a fan base, people like Wissam, people like Tom Goggins, you get these kind of folk heroes that fans love because they play
and
so hard. Luau Rahama, Canfor, Rosique Carter-Robinson, they play so hard out there that, you can't help but respect their game. And the Warwick Raiders, they're not going to win this game, folks, but they played hard, and you got to give them credit.
Hashtag Ray Glizzy.
Ray Glizzy. They played a hard game here tonight, but, you got to have a winner and a loser in every contest, and the Denbigh Patriots are going to come away with a hard-fought road victory.
Still 19 seconds left, 59-55, Denbigh up by 4. See the fans right there? We'll take a short break. We'll be back after this.
You don't have to change just to fit in. You don't have to apologize for who you are. Just be yourself, and I promise people will enjoy it. Just be yourself.
All right, back live right here to Warwick High School at Newport News at 9:08 in Newport News, Virginia. Greg Bicaveras, Nate Milton, our entire crew. See the Denbigh bench right there. Great interaction from the fans tonight. Great ball game. One last shout out for the T-Man. Thank you, 972 area code. 972 area code.
I think Goggins has a higher approval rating than anybody in Congress right now.
Especially Shermer.
Tom Goggins for your local senator. I think he can win based on the early returns tonight.
That's Dallas, too.
Denbigh trying
972 is the Dallas area code.
Denbigh trying to salt this game away, Greg. Again, shout out Dill Pickle, Justin, Isaiah, Isaac, Jimmy Chance.
Timmy Chance,
and Jimmy Chance probably. The Chance brothers.
Nate's all-inclusive. There's Jimmy Gerald. It's a shame to see this game slip away for Warwick, who really was in control for most of the quarters.
And the thing is, Warwick has, we talked about them not having the best season, but the effort is there. These kids came out and they played hard tonight. It's just, you got to
sustain.
You got to sustain it. You got to keep it going for the entire game. And so, it's a lesson learned. It's something that
in life too.
It's in life you don't always win either. Like Big Sean said, you can take an L, but you can also bounce back. So that's what these kids got to do. Take that L tonight, but also bounce back, come back stronger the next time.
We got a text from Nate tonight. Final few seconds, 60-55. Denbigh's going to win it and sweep the series with 6 seconds left.
Man,
this phone is blown up tonight. Wassam's in, tolerate, all that stuff.
Telling you.
It's a 5-point game now. How's that post-game interview coming?
The people want Goggins. And I thought the New Edition story on BET this week had.
He's definitely got a lot of pub
ups and downs.
I want to say this to the person texting from area code 207. We've given Goggins a lot of love tonight.
Is Goggins the Bobby Brown of the Warwick Raiders, or
he's like the Kendrick Lamar and Drake of basketball?
Man, what a game tonight, folks! And again, it's been a pleasure to bring this to you live
in Newport News, all over the world. Final possible shot of the game, no good. And Denbigh wins it on the road. Denbigh wins on the road, 62-55. And the Patriots prevail.
Hard-fought win for the Denbigh Patriots. It's never easy to win on the road, Greg, especially when you got the lights and the cameras out here. But Denbigh provided the action. Like Marshawn Lynch used to say, they were all about that action, boss. And they came out tonight and beat a game Warwick Raiders team. But you got to tip your cap to both squads for a hard-fought matchup.
All right, stay tuned for our post-game show after these messages.
Serving the community can have a big impact on society. Everyone loves when someone takes time out of their day to spend time, either just hanging out or helping out. There are many different people to serve, from kids to the elderly, the homeless to your next door neighbor. And the best part about serving is that it spreads. So take time to serve someone else, to serve your community, and to do your part.
All right, back live right here, 62-55. Thanks to all the viewers out there watching, and great seniors on both ends of the floor. First of all, for Denbigh and for Warwick, but Denbigh was more proactive. They played for a full 32 minutes and won 62-55. Nate Milton.
Telling you, what a game, my folks. It was a nip and tuck battle all the way to the end. But much like the Mississippi Mass Choir, we're not tired yet, folks. It was an exciting matchup. Warwick, again, this is a learning experience. These are growing pains that they're going to have to cope with. But you got to give all credit in the world to the Denbigh Patriots for coming out, playing team basketball on offense and defense. Exciting game for the folks tonight.
Keep the tweet party going, Greg Bick and Nate Mosaic. Thanks to our wonderful crew led by Ray Price for making this a live event tonight. But one team had to win, and it was Denbigh. Shout out to all the wonderful seniors as well, and to all the wonderful viewers all over the world watching on NNPS TV. So once again, the final score, Denbigh wins at 62-55 on senior night. For Nate Milton, Ray Price, I'm Greg Bick. We'll talk to you soon.